NRS game, right? You want me to do Deadshot next? All right, I'll teach you Deadshot. Here we go. We're gonna do the same process. Character select. This is how I learn characters in this game. Deadshot. All right. How does Deadshot work? Let's pick a brighter stage. Okay. What up, LCD? Obviously, I didn't show this, but an important part about this, after you learn the strings, you want to look at the special moves. So here we go. This is how you learn a character in an NRS game, okay? Let's start. The things that you're looking for. I'm going to do the same thing we just did. Same thing, things that we're looking for. Advancing mids or advancing strings, right, that are safe. That's awesome. That's what you want. Advancing strings that are safe. Overheads or lows, right? And then if you see a move in there that looks like it does a lot of damage, that's probably your combo move. So let's look at the move list. We're going to start with the move list. This is just the standard attacks right here. All these attacks, the move list is just normals by themselves. So as you can see, it's single inputs. So it's like 1, back 1. So back 1's a low. That's great. Let's remember this. Back 1's a low. So if there's any string that's off of back 1, that's a low starter. That's good to remember, okay? Back 1's a low, and it's safe on block. It's -1. That's cool. Forward 1, that's a mid. Okay. Down 1, his down 1 is 8 frames startup. You can see right here, 8 frames startup, but it's a low. And down ones that are lows are very rare. So that's really good. Let's look at what else he has. Back 2, that's a mid. Forward 2 is an overhead. Important, okay? So now that we've seen forward 2 overhead, cool. Back 1, low. So what have we learned already? Back 1's a low. Forward 2 is an overhead. So we're going to look for strings off of those. If he has a string off of that, that means he has an overhead and a low that you can combo off of. Nice. Okay, now we know that. So standing 3, back 3. The rest of this, okay, the rest of that's pretty standard. So of the normals that we want to focus on so far, I'm going to tag back 1 and I'm going to tag forward 2. Let's see what they look like. Back 1. Okay. Advancing low. This is already looking promising. Advancing low. Good to keep in mind. Forward 2. Oh, baby, we're in there. He's got an overhead and a low. Can you special cancel this? What are his special moves? Boom, special cancelable. Boom, special cancelable. We got mix-ups. We already know. He's got an overhead. He's got a low. Awesome. That's both of those things. Exactly what we were looking for. Okay. Now, let's untag these and look for strings off of them. So, let's look at some of his strings. He's got 1, 2, and he's got an extender for it. 1, 2, 3. That's a low in there. You see that right there? Boom, low. If it says low, that means there's a hit in the string that's a low. Usually they're referring to the last hit. Okay? Alright. 1, 2, 3. Boom. It's a low. Can you special cancel it? We got a special cancelable low string. Okay. Okay. This is looking promising. Back 1, 2. This is the string we saw earlier, right? Remember that back 1 string? We're looking for back 1 and forward 2. Those are the two strings we're looking for. Okay. Back 1, 2. -1 on block. Oh man, this is good. -1 on block. So now we know that back 1, 2, we're going to tag this one. This is an important string. Back 1, 2 is a low, or is a low overhead string, and it's safe on block, right? Oh, look at that. Does it get any prettier than that? I've never seen anybody that pretty in my life. Oh man, that's good. Okay, back 1, 2 is a low. So we see that there's some follow-ups to the string, right? So you see this is back 1, 2. This is also back 1, 2, but there's an additional command at the end, right? This part right here. So there's up +3 and down +3. These are much more unsafe on block. You notice that? If you look at the block advantage, -16, -9. This one is -1. Okay, so let's check it out. Let's see what these strings are. So back 1, 2, up 3. That's a little cartwheel, but you know that was unsafe. But you see how far away it takes them, right? So that's important. You know, frame data by itself it doesn't tell the whole story. If you're -16 but you're all the way over here, how are you gonna reach me, right? You have to come up and reach me. So that's good to keep in mind. Let's check if it's special cancelable, because we learned that this is special cancelable. Oh baby. Ooh, it's special cancel, so I can run away and shoot a gun. Nice. Okay, that's good to know. Let's check the other one. Down 3. Slide. Okay, so we got a little slide there at the end. Probably not going to use that a lot since it just knocks him down. But this looks promising. That for sure looks promising, right? Because we see that it lets us escape and shoot our gun. Okay? Cool. Cool. Now we know. Let's continue to look. This is forward 1, 2, mid minus 15. That's a little shaky. That's pretty negative, right? See that negative right there? That's minus 15 is pretty negative. Forward 1, 2, 3 is 0, however. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, right? So let's tag that. Let's see what that looks like. Forward 1, 2, 3. Oh, man. You see that? And that moves them away, too. Now we know. Can we cancel it? No, it's not special cancelable. Okay. The first 2 hits, we can cancel into a special move. Second one, we can't. Okay, that's good to know. It's good to know. So this string lets us move away. That's nice. 2, 1. That's a low. Okay, so we got a low in there. Low. Okay. 2. That's minus 7. 2, 1, 3 is also there. Minus 8. Little kick at the end. Special cancelable though. That's good to know. Can't cancel the last hit. So 2, 1 is also maybe good. It's a low string, right? We've seen that he has a low overhead string. We've seen that he has an overhead string. That's important to know. Back 2, 3 and back 2, 3, 3. Let's see what these look like. Whoa, kicks. This looks like it could be a combo starter, right? That seems like it might be pretty good. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. So back 2, 3, 3. That's nice. Back forward 2. This is what I talked about earlier. We were looking for the back 1. That was a low. Forward 2 was that overhead string, right? So he's got forward 2, 3, minus 15. So unsafe. But let's try this out. Let's see what this looks like. There's that overhead. Okay, it's an overhead kick. Can you special cancel? Boom. All right. So what have we learned so far? What have we learned? We have back 1, 2. I have all the strings right here at the top. All the strings are at the top. So that's how, if you have bad memory, you can read it. Usually, if like me, I like to take notes. But yeah, now that you know. If you have good memory like me, don't write shit down. So back 1, 2, low string. Forward 2, 3, overhead string. We've got mix-ups, right? So we've got low and we've got an overhead. That's great. That means that our character has the ability to do moves, and the person on defense has to guess, right? Awesome. Now that we know, right? So if I do a jump attack, like I could go overhead or I could go low, and my opponent has to say, you know, is it going to be an overhead? Is it going to be a low? We've also learned that not only is this string a low overhead, but it moves them forward. And forward advancing strings are great because it allows you to cover distance, right? If you're at this range right here, you can just get in there. Awesome. So we found a couple of good strings for our character. We've checked them out. We just went through the move list. And now we know, like, what our character has. That's when you start looking at the special moves. You start looking at, you know, what you can combo after, what this character all does. So for Deadshot, you know, you're seeing a lot of special moves. So what I would do is I would just run through them. Wrist cannon. Okay. Meter burn. So it's meter burnable. Okay, that's what it looks like. It's a high projectile, which means my opponent can duck under it. And if you meter burn it, he shoots a bunch more high projectiles. And also, if you notice in the command list, it says advance, which is hold forward, and advance, hold back. So if, as I'm meter burning it, if I hold the direction, I can move forward or backwards. You see that? I ran out of meter, but how do I give myself more meter in here? Oh, there we go. See that? So I can move myself forward and backwards. So now I know how that special move works, right? Awesome. Air, wrist cannon. So you can also do it in the air. You can also meter burn it in the air. Good to know. Now I know that he has wrist cannon in the air and not in the air. Whoops. So now I know about that special move. Trick shot. Okay. The interesting thing to note about this, notice that it's trick shot and then there's close trick shot, far trick shot. So there's a couple of versions of this move, and it's done by doing down, forward 2, and then either holding back or holding down, right? That's how you do the different inputs. So let's try this move. Trick shot, let's just do it by itself. Boom. All right, we got a bouncing projectile. If I hold down, it goes far. If I hold back, it's a different angle. Meter burn version just shoots more bullets. Okay, so now I know how trick shot works. So let's just refresh ourselves. Let's not even get too ahead of ourselves. We got boom, bullets, bullets, and then we got, oh wow, that's a different move. I'm doing something different. We got this one, and boom. All right, so we got 2 things already. Now we can move down here to bullet barrage. I just did that one. Down, back 2. It's another high projectile. Can I meter burn it? I can, and he shoots more projectiles. Okay. So look at that. We've already made it through 3 of the special moves, and we know what they do. Last one. Last two. Assassin knee. Okay. So this one is a little different looking, right? This is a forward-moving kick move. I'm not sure exactly what that one does yet, right? Meter burn. Meter burn's a little flip at the end. Okay. And if you check it out, if you look at the frame data here, that knee is -20, but it's -3 if you meter burn it. So it's gonna be safe if you meter burn it. Good to know. Okay. Last special move, Deadly Assault is down back 3. And meter burn version, okay, so Deadly Assault. Okay, it's the low gunshot. Meter burn version is a bunch of low. So what did we learn about this character? That he has a bunch of zoning tools, but a lot of them don't reach crouching opponents, except for this one. So what we've learned about this character is he's got some cool strings that move forward. Awesome. We've got a low projectile to catch him when people are ducking, right? Because on a projectile like this, as I mentioned, if I set my opponent to duck, that sucks. Alright, so that hits full screen, and that hit full screen. So now we understand, right? Okay, cool. Now we know. Yeah, and at this point, some people are saying in the chat, at this point you might be like, well, I already don't like Deadshot. I can tell that I'm not going to like him. That's cool, but you wouldn't have known that unless you came into training mode, right? Like, how are you supposed to know that unless you come in here and check it out? So now that we know Deadshot, he seems like a zoning character. He seems like he has a lot of, you know, kind of long-range tools. He does have some good strings, though. We noticed that. So now we're on trait, which is the character power. So if you tap it, you can read the text down here. Incendiary ammo adds damage only over time. Only affects wrist cannon special moves. Okay, so let's try that. So we did that, and we did a wrist cannon move. We got fire shots. And we can see on the bottom there that it's ticking around, right? We're getting rid of that. Okay, good to know. Back plus trait. Explosive ammo does additional damage and causes a knockdown. Okay, let's try that out. Back plus trait. Oh, I clearly did the wrong one. Wait a minute, am I crazy? What was the input? Back plus trait, right? What? How do I do that? Whoa. Oh, okay, I got it. Alright, now I know how to do it. So it knocks them down. Alright, what's the last one? Forward plus trait, poison ammo. Poison ammo will drain the opponent's super meter. Okay. So it drains super meter. Now you can't tell because training mode meter stays full the whole time. But, you know, if I take his meter off, where do you even do that from? Super meter bars. Let's set it to normal. Okay, so as you can see there, it drains a little bit of bar when I hit him with it. Alright, that's good to know. So, now that we've tested that, we know about Deadshot. So we don't know any combos. We don't know exactly how to play him, but we know some strings, right? We know some special moves. We know kind of the general idea of the character, right? So that's cool, right? We figured that out. How long did that take us? Maybe 10 minutes, right? Maybe a little less, but we got this character figured out. Now, as far as combos and stuff like that goes, you can try to figure it out yourself by just, you know, using your different special moves and seeing what works where, right? What does what, and you can try to figure it out yourself. But usually combos are pretty easy to find on the internet. You can just kind of look them up, and most people will have like some kind of combo guide already available. So you can be like, well, what do these guys say about this character, right? Like, what am I supposed to do with this character? Like, I'm not exactly sure. So, yeah, that's one of those things that you can look up pretty easily. So, yeah, that's how we learned Deadshot. So, that's Deadshot. We learned, what was the first character we learned? Candleman, Firestorm, and we learned Deadshot. So, now we know both of those characters, right? Awesome. That's how I learn characters. And I think that's the general game plan to learning an NRS character. You just have to break it down one string at a time. And just use the in-game tools, right? Because there really is a lot of information here that you can. There's everything you want to know. Rip mentioned this in the chat, and I didn't bring it up, but yeah, you can tell if a move is special cancelable or not, where it says cancel down here. That's how many frames you have to cancel the move. So if a string, for instance, is like this, where it says NA, it's not special cancelable. To me, I usually just try to special cancel it anyway because I want to see what it looks like. But yeah, show some Bane, Dr. Fate. I just told you how to do this so that you can do it yourself, is what I'm telling you. So if you want to know how I do the character breakdowns, or if you want to know how I do any of this stuff, this is the method that I do. But I will do one other character. Let's do one other character. We'll do one more.